Think about how much the world has changed in 15 years, how much technology has advanced, how much information has been disseminated, how much we've grown as society thinking about, health, thinking about wealth, thinking about how we relate to each other, and then think about how the minimum wage has not budged not once in that 15 years. Do we still live in the same world and reality that where the cost of living allow for you to have a federal minimum wage of like $7 and some change? Do we still live in that world? No. In my opinion, when corporations celebrate these record high profits, that's really just wage theft because that could have been paid to the workers that's slaving, putting blood, sweat, and tears, and you being able to celebrate these record high profits. Here's an illustration of what happens in our country. When we say we want minimum wage, we have somebody sitting on a mountain of money that has been used and extracted from our labor telling us that our greed is hurting the economy. Then the same people who say that human activity can't affect the climate are now saying the government is creating hurricanes. It's almost like they don't want to invest in public education or invest in raising the minimum wage. They don't want to invest in nothing. And on top of the minimum wage being held hostage at $7 and some change and the ecological control, we have a housing shortage. You feel me? So not only do you have people that really can't even afford houses, the people that can afford houses can't even get one. Between the zoning laws, the high interest rates, the algorithmic fixing, our country is going to hell in a handbasket real fast, or all of us is just one check from being unhoused. If billionaires are worried about a wealth tax, they should get a second job. Stop buying coffee and avocado toast and pull themselves up by the bootstraps and do better and save a job. Or use some of that money and instead of buying them a jet or going to the moon, they can just get them a better financial team. Think about it. We hold broke people that's having to eat, sleep for dinner to high standards of holding their finances than we do multi-million dollar, billion-dollar corporations that get bailed out with our taxpayer dollars anytime they start messing up their money. Crazy, ain't it? The minimum wage now is worse than it's been since 1949. Think about how much we say our society has advanced since 1949 and how many people is living with not being able to access a livable wage. There are very many states that have a higher minimum wage in their state than the federal minimum wage, but in states like Texas where I live at, hey man, we are very, very much focused and influenced how we get paid and how our labor is valued based off what the federal minimum wage is. Basically saying what happens federally has a ripple effect in how all our wages are valued across the country. So we have a housing shortage and we have a shortage of people being able to afford homes, but Supreme Court is saying that cities can punish people for sleeping outside in public places. So it is illegal to be unhoused, huh? We'll pass some laws that make it easier for us to buy a house and fix some of them zoning laws that make it easier for y'all to build some houses, man. Education is elevation. We got to do better.
Because it doesn't make sense. Explain it again. Listen, if you raise the minimum wage, everything's going to become more expensive.
Why?
Because companies are going to know that we make more money, and so they're going to charge more. See, that doesn't track. Do you think that the pricing that companies choose for their product is based on the amount of money that the brokest people in society are making right now?
What are you talking about?
What do I mean? Do you think that like a candy bar or a soda company, when they're deciding how much to charge for one candy bar, minimum wage is how they decide that shit? Obviously, that's not the only factor. Like, of course, cost of production is like a bigger factor, but that is a factor. Here, listen to this, okay? Let's say that they raised the price of minimum wage to like $20, right? So now burger flippers are making $20 an hour, okay? Well, that's the same amount that like some EMTs are making. So now a burger flipper's making the same as an EMT. That doesn't make any sense. So they're going to raise the salary of EMTs, right? And so now EMTs are making the same amount as like doctors, and that doesn't make any sense. So now they raise the salary of doctors, right? So now everyone's just making more and more money. So of course, the cost of everything is going to go up to match that. Three things wrong with what you just said. The first one is that that's a slippery slope fallacy, right? Because you're guessing that this chain of events is going to happen, and then you're guessing the conclusion of those events. You see that? Yep. We haven't gone over a slippery slope fallacy yet. I'll make a video.
Wait, who are you talking to?
Nothing.
Wait.
The second thing is that there's no reason for you to think that if we raise the salary of everybody, that they'll also proportionally raise the prices of everything. No evidence to support that. You have no reason to think that that'll happen, right?
Okay.
Third thing, hypothetical for you. What happens to the prices of everything if we don't change the minimum wage? If we keep it the exact same as it's been the last like 15 years, right? If we keep minimum wage the same, the prices will. It still go up, but it's not. Yeah, courage. It goes up anyway, right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess, yeah, the price is going to go up regardless, but it's not going to go up as much. Wait a minute. Fourth thing, you can't set the wages that someone's supposed to earn based on how much more they should be making from other jobs. What kind of rat race bullshit is that? You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
You sure?
Oh, did I cut you off?
Finish.
Oh, that's my fault, bro. Yeah, no, go ahead.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Listen, the bottom line is, if you raise the minimum wage, it's going to be worse for everyone. You can't act like you don't understand what I'm saying right now. Yeah, no.
Stick with me on the logic on this one. If your job requires a college degree, you should be able to write off your student loan payments as a business expense the way CEOs write off their private jets and yachts for their job, which require neither. This video is about class consciousness and trying to do it in a way that doesn't devolve into class reductionism. Make it make sense. Only 8 people have 50% of the world's wealth, but I might be one of those 8 someday, so I don't think I should do anything about it. Think about it. 8 men have as much wealth as 3.6 billion people, but sure, single mothers on food stamps is the problem because some of y'all are so lost in the sauce of the myth of the welfare queen that y'all be pushing poverty pathology, doing the boot licking of the man. None of your problems are because someone is on welfare. Unless you talking about the exploitation that placed them on welfare, then we talking about some problems. Other than that, you just victim blaming.